Young people, welcome back. BMB in the house, the bearded math brother, here to take care of chapter 3, lesson 1, brand new unit for you. And let's see it. Looks like we've got two objectives for this lesson. Number 1, identify linear equations, intercepts, and zeros. Objective number 2, graph linear equations. All right, so students will be able to swap out. Students will be able to identify linear equations, identify zeros or x-intercepts, and we'll be able to graph. So remember the concept, linear equations, and the skill, identify, that's 1, graph, that's 2. And yeah, let's get this thing started, guys. Don't forget, I'd like to thank our sponsors, and I'd like to get some music going. There we go. Let's begin. All right, guys, get that handout. Chapter 3, lesson 1, get it on out of there. Move on. And get our title in there. And along with the title, part 1. Chapter 3, lesson 1, skills practice, graphing linear equations. Determine whether each equation is a linear equation, right, yes or no. So just identifying. Write the equation in standard form. Well, x, y equals 6. Definitely not standard form. Standard form is x plus y equals, or 2x plus y, or 3x plus 4y equals, it's ax plus by equals c, standard, ABC. Straightforward, right there. There's a lot of other forms we're going to see, but as we continue on, you'll see in the lesson. Number 1, I put no. Number 2, I put yes, but it's not in standard form. And the reason why I say it's not in standard form is because I recognize the 3x, the negative 3x is on the right side. It needs to be on the left side of the equal sign. So the opposite would be to add 3x to both sides, therefore giving me 3x plus y equals 2. Standard form. Ax plus by equals 2. A is 3, B will be 1, C is 2. Number 3, yes, it's linear. And again, the x term and the y term need to be on the left side of the equal sign. So it's basically just a one-step thing here. Subtract the y from both sides, and now I've got the negative 1y, or it could be just negative y, plus 5x is equal to negative 4. Looking good. Again, if you add 2, ax plus by equals c, a will be negative 1, b will be 5, c is negative 4. And again, standard form, ax, by, c. Number 4, got it? Yes. And again, the x term is on the wrong side, so the opposite of a positive 2x is negative 2x. Rewriting it, negative 2x plus y is equal to 5, and boom, bang, pow. Number 5, another yes, and recognizing again, everything is not where it's supposed to be. The positive 6x needs to be on the left side of the equal sign. So again, doing a little bit of slow down, drawing a line down my equal sign, subtracting 6x from both sides, which will give me a final answer of negative 6x plus 1y, or just y, is equal to negative 7. Now we get a no for our next one. And if you need to know why, it's the only one so far that has an exponent. And that automatically makes it nonlinear. Do a little reading up on that, watch more of my videos, but it's nonlinear. Excuse that little mark. Number 7, though, I don't recognize my x. I don't see it, but that doesn't mean it's not linear. It means that something happened to the x term, and what happened to the x term is it just got eliminated. But the c, my constant, is still on the wrong side. So you notice I just added 4 to both sides, which gave me y equals 4, and technically, you're good. You're good with that. Number 8, again, another yes. But seeing again, the x term is on the right side, we need to move it on over to that left side. Recognizing you have like terms in this one, 5x minus 3x will give you 2x, and nothing happens with your 6y, and you're good. And then, of course, for number 9 there, I think I'm going to go ahead and let you guys stare at number 9. I'm going to stare at it too. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? I'm thinking, why did they put a fraction in there? Are they trying to confuse me or you? Well, here's the thing, guys. Ask your teacher about it. It definitely can be considered linear, non-linear. That's what I want you to go find out. But 8 of those, let's get her out of here. When I say let's get her out of here, that means get it out of here. I need all of that. And erase that. Get rid of it, because we need our space. All right, guys, here we go. Part 2 of the handout, and let's see what they got us doing. We're still dealing with linear equations, of course, and maybe we got to graph some now, or maybe we need to identify. So this is going to be a very quick skill I hope you can pick up on. Our goal is to find the x and y intercepts, and again, your x-intercept and your y-intercept is where the line crosses the axis, crosses the x-axis, crosses the y-axis. In this situation, guys, I can look at it and see it, but we gotta do more than that. So you see me highlight where the line crosses the x-axis. There it is. It's located at a positive 2 for x and 0 for y. Of course, 0 for y because it's the x-intercept. For the y-intercept, this time I'm gonna get 0 for x, and of course, 1, 2, negative 2 for y. And I'm done. That's it, right? Or let's make it fancy and say x-intercept is equal to, and again, if I just wrote the number 2, that's not writing it as a coordinate point. And check with your teacher whether it's, just check with your teacher. You want to get full credit for doing this correctly, so if they want you to write it as a coordinate point, or if they want you to write it just as a value. But there's number 11, as you can see, and again, I don't want to highlight, I need a pen. So let's get that highlight out of there. Thank you. And again, guys, I can see there's my, what is it, x-intercept located at, I'm just counting with you like you are, hopefully, is equal to positive 4. And again, writing it as a coordinate point. And of course, the y-intercept is equal to positive 4. But again, writing it as a coordinate point. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right, guys, number 12, moving on. And again, hopefully you're not getting confused with this. We are identifying. We're not doing any math. We're not doing any algebra. We're counting to find out what the intercept is. So therefore, number 12, 2 and 4. The x-intercept is 2. The y-intercept is 4. Writing it as a coordinate point. All right, guys, moving on to the next section of this handout. Let's get all this out of here. Well, we got to get that stuff out before we do the new stuff. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I think we'll just erase the rest of that, get it all out of here. Because sometimes you erase, sometimes you slide, sometimes your editor don't want to do nothing for you, but it's okay. I'll take care of him. He takes care of me. So here we go, guys. Number 13, 14, and 15, graph each equation by making a table. By making a what? A table? You mean like where I eat my breakfast? Of course not, right? We mean a X and Y table. So honestly, guys, that's a really straight line. I'm proud of myself there. 3 really straight lines. There's a ruler. So straight edge, I'll be able to use it. All right, guys, technically for 13, 14, and 15, it wants me to make a table. I love that each question says y equals. So I can basically say y equals, well, number 13 says 4. So y has to equal 4. For number 14, it says y equals 3x. So if x is 0 times 3, I can tell you what y is if x is 1. So we'll be plugging in to fill in our table. That's an old skill. I hope you used it before you got to high school. And if you're not in high school, I hope you used it before you got to junior high. So guys, when x is 0, when x is 2, when x is, I don't know, 1,400 and, okay, just 1,400. It doesn't matter because it simply states that y is equal to 4. This is one of the questions where I crack up. Kids don't like me sometimes because I giggle when they ask me a question, but I'm not giggling because I don't think you're bright. I'm giggling because it's something very simple that caused you to think you didn't know what you were doing. So in this situation, guys, y equals 4. There's a straight line where y is equal to 4. And that's it. So I just want to get a straight line right there where y equals 4. Doesn't matter what x is, y equals 4. All right, and I'm happy with that. I'm going to move on to 14. And for 14, nothing's changing except you now have a coefficient. So vocabulary, you guys know how I love vocabulary. If you don't know what a coefficient is, it's the value in front of a variable, the number in front of a variable. So we're going to plug in some values for x and multiply it by the coefficient. We can plug in any value for x. It can be 0, easiest number in the world. You always want to do that. 1, of course, and try negative. Try different quadrants. And if you're not sure what I mean by quadrants, that's vocabulary. But here I got enough values. You need 3 values. I'm sorry, 2 values to graph a line. If you can see here, guys, I got 1 value. I got 0, 1, 2, and negative 3. So I plugged in a total of 4 values for x, which will give me 4 points. And let's get to graphing, guys. Because now I'm just finding points to graph. There's my first point, 0, 0. Next point's gonna go right up there, 1, 3. Next point, I'm actually gonna, let me see, can I even get to that next point? 2, all the way up to 6. I'm a little off my grid, but you see what I'm doing. And then go on back, negative 3. And you know, in some of the other video guys, you can actually see me pointing and counting on my graph, but your graphing skill is your graphing skill with graphing coordinate points. We're gonna connect those coordinate points to produce a linear equation, linear function, linear graph. And you see my little red there to show, I tell my kids, go off the grid if you need to. It just helps when you decide to connect your dots and you want to see those dots line up. So if you can see, those dots look straight to me and we're gonna get a straight edge. And I'm actually gonna verify, I like what I'm doing here. Since I went off the grid, let me choose some other values for x, like negative 1. And then y will be negative 3. So let's graph that coordinate. X is negative 1, down 1, 2, 3. I like it. See how those points are lining up? And then of course, negative 2, and you get negative 6. But definitely number 14 looks good enough to me to pull out a straight edge and to connect those dots. And here it comes, there it is. Y is equal to 3x. And guys, definitely let your teacher know if you're doing this for homework purposes. All that extra writing is me showing my work. Sometimes we want to make it pretty. A little red down there to show that that point was correct as we extend it down. But let's get on done with it. And let's go ahead, write the equation on the line. One of my teachers told me it's a good thing to do. So I started doing it. Check with your teacher though, because again, it's on you. Last one. Again, y is equal to x plus 4. So in this situation, if I plug in 0, 0 plus 4. Plug in 1, 1 plus 4. Plug in 2, 2 plus 4. And you see I'm not doing what I did in number 14, which is showing when I plug in the x value, y is equal to. I'm just doing it in my head because I can add 4 to any number. Again, guys, I use some positives, I use some negatives, and of course I use 0. And there we go. 0, 4, 1, 5, 2, 6 off the grid. So let me go back the other way now, which I already did. You see x is negative 1, and there we go, 3. And guys, it looks like I've got a slope of negative 1. I'm sorry, nobody heard that. I have a slope of positive 1, because it's going uphill. So negative in there. Connect those dots, guys, and let's get her done. Really appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate those people that are sponsoring this as well. You know, it takes a team to get things done, and BMB has got a team behind them. So, guys, let's go ahead and get this out of here because we are ready for the next portion. Yeah. That's too much. I need all of it gone. Still like my title. So let's just get some of it out. Told my editor that he needs to switch up the music. So you guys can go ahead and put some comments of what type of music you would like to jam to while working with the BMB. No complaints, music is good. Kind of seems to be the same one. We're back, we're ready, here we go. Graph each equation by using x and y intercepts. All right, so guys, we're graphing again, but now I'm only gonna use 2 points. I'm gonna use the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Now I'm gonna pause here. And the reason why I'm gonna pause is, if you had 3 teachers in this room right now, they might look better than the BMB. They might be smarter than the BMB. They probably aren't taller than the BMB, but they might have a different method by which they teach this component of the lesson. How do you find your x-intercept? How do you find your y-intercept? What are you gonna do? So guys, you're gonna see my way, the book way. It's similar to my way, but very simple. I'm gonna say it twice. To get the x-intercept, plug in 0 for y, solve for x. To get the y-intercept, plug in 0 for x and solve for y. That was only one time, I gotta say it again. To get the x-intercept, plug in 0 for y and then solve for x. To get the y-intercept, you plug in 0 for x and you solve for y. Guys, let's see it. And guys, you're gonna do that over and over, so that's what I mean by getting a technique that works for you. So my technique, x minus y, that should be x. What am I doing? Oh, I know what I'm doing. I want to take care of that minus y as a coefficient, -1y. And of course, guys, I like to create a table, and I like to indicate that to get the x-intercept, I need to plug in 0 for y. That's what I just said, that's what I just did. And for the y-intercept, I need to go ahead and plug in 0 for x. So that right there prevents me from making any mistake, or I'm just setting it up. Here we go. X plus -1, y is equal to 3. I'm gonna go ahead and plug in, showing my work here. Most of you do know anything times 0 is 0, but you're here because you needed some help. So I'm gonna slow down and make sure you get that help. X is equal to 3, because 0 times -1 is 0. So I got my first one, 3, 0. Go to my next one. X plus -1 times y is equal to 3. And this time, to get the y-intercept, excuse me, we're gonna plug in 0 for x. No parentheses. Guys, you know how I do. Put parentheses when you plug in. I'm getting lazy, so this is, end of the handout here. But -1 divided by, -1y divided by -1. Do it to both sides. 3 divided by -1, you get -3. You see my hands moving because we're done. Don't know what else to do, but get it right. Guys, go ahead and plot those 2 points. Our first one, 3, 0, and our next one, 0, -3. And again, guys, as before I had multiple points, it says graph each equation using the x and y intercepts. That's only 2 points. So there's my straight line. And again, if I want it to be fancy, I can write the equation of the line on that actual line, but I don't want to be fancy. I want to be correct, and I want to be helpful. So hopefully this is helpful for you guys. Number 16 is the exact same. We're doing the same skill, finding the x and y intercept. And we find it by plugging in 0 for x if we're looking for y, and plug in 0 for y if we're looking for x. And I still could use a t-chart, but instead I'm writing it because I keep saying it. So guys, again, hopefully in class you got this in your notes. If you're still distance learning, you watch the video. Not as good as this video, but you get the message, guys. So 10x is equal to -5 times 0. There you go. Plug in 0. And of course, -5 times 0 is going to give me that 0. 10x is equal to 0. Therefore, you see what I got? You're about to see what I got. There we go. And we're not done. Want to be clear. You're going to see a lot of intercepts at the origin. And as I abbreviate x-intercept as xi, plug in 0 for x to get the y-intercept. And that's exactly what I'm going to do again. So guys, the process is just continued over and over. I think what I'm recognizing now, guys, is where am I going to write this at? I guess I'll have to make some fresh room. Hopefully you wrote that down, right? Here we go. Starting with the equation. 10x is equal to negative 5y. And again, we're going to go ahead and, I love to put parentheses when I plug in. It's just a good habit to do. It's going to prevent you from making mistakes as these questions get harder and harder. Still one step. It's still inverse operation. Please recognize 0 is equal to negative 5. And again, guys, I don't know what to tell you. It happens like that. So if I have my x-intercept and I have my y-intercept sitting right there at that 0, 0, here's where I challenge you. And of course, Mr. Craft gets challenged all the time. Well, how am I going to graph this? Is both of those points are right there at 0, 0. That is the x-intercept. It is the y-intercept. It's called the origin. So what I'm thinking, guys, is as I'm watching myself do this question, let's see what I do. Because your brain's thinking like me, was that it? Is that all I got? That's it? You would skip it, but let's see what happens. I recognize I need 2 points. If I need 2 points, well, let me go get 2 points. If x is 2, well, negative 5 times what is equal to 10 times 2? Well, we know 10 times 2 is 20. So what times negative 5 is going to give me 20? Negative 4. Guys, I just got a point. Make it happen. You can go back and be like, I didn't get it. Or you can do what you need to do. So now, whether Mr. Craft is right or wrong, I've got 2 points. And I have an x and the y intercept. So guys, I think I'm okay with that, but why not another? You're here to learn. You're here to get some help. So this time, 10 times negative 2. If x is negative 2, what does y have to be? Well, again, negative 5 times what is equal to negative 20. And I guess I'm giving you some time to think about it. You can already see there's the bottom of the handout. We're in chapter 3 of the Glencoe Algebra 1 McGraw Hill textbook. And if that's not your textbook for your school, hey, at least you're still getting that help, right? But guys, there we go. Positive 4 for this one. I'm going to go ahead and plot that point. X is negative 2. I'm going to go ahead and plot that point. Plot that point. There we go. And guys, last one. I appreciate you being here. You know, some of our videos are actually quite quick, maybe 10 minutes. Some are similar to this. We might run 20 minutes, 25. But definitely want to take the time to answer things that I know challenge my students. After teaching algebra for over 10 years, I definitely know what can be challenging. So with that said, guys, we got one left, number 18. And again, graphing it using x and y intercepts. And let's take care of it. Gonna have to make some room, although looks like I'm still working on 17, but I'm sure you're done with it if you're with me working on this. We do know you like to slide forward and slide back to find the help you need in these videos. I'm just glad we're here to help. And I think it's going bye-bye. There we go. So we got 18 left, guys, and 4x is equal to 2y plus 6. I'm going to be honest and tell you, anytime I work with linear equations, I like slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. But if you're trying to get x and y intercepts, standard form is actually better, or can be better. I use this thing called the cover-up method. It's a little different, but it's something I could show you in another video. Excuse me. But let's go ahead and I think we're done, guys, unless I'm going to do this last one. I gotta make that stuff disappear. Here it is. It's coming. Number 18, plugging in 0 for y to get the x-intercept. And in this situation, I'm already messing things up. Equals 2y plus 6. Thank you very much. And of course, go ahead and, like it. Slowing down on the last one. Showing those great notes. The x-intercept, go ahead and rewrite that equation. For x plus, I'm sorry, there goes that plus again. 4x is equal to 2 times 0 plus 6. And I go, hold on, 4 times nothing equals 6. Yeah, you're right. Except a fraction. So, guys, always know you can't get fractions. We haven't had one this whole handout. Bam, here it comes. We got our first value for our first intercept. X-intercept, 1.5, 0. And for the y-intercept, again, just find somewhere where we're going to put it, squeeze it on in. 4 times 0 is equal to 2y plus 6. And this time, guys, traditional two-step. Undo the addition after, of course, 4 times 0, 0. We're going to subtract 6 from both sides, and we get negative 6y is equal to 2y. Divide both sides by 2. And a negative divided by a positive give me a negative, so I have a negative 3 is equal to y. And guys, that allows me to indicate my x-intercept, my y-intercept, which now allows me to accurately graph my points. And I say accurately because it's our first fraction again, so be careful. You want to do all that right and then mess up. Just plot the point. My other point, 0, negative 3. Grabbing a straight edge. And sometimes it takes a while because you got to maneuver the straight edge, and you know what I'm talking about. It's okay because you don't maneuver straight edges. I maneuver straight edges. Other teachers maneuver straight edges. And there it is. We're good. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity to let you know that Chapter 3, Lesson 1 is completed, and we're going to be moving on. Thank you again, guys, for being here. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.